Okay, so this is like take 3. Um, Learning tech issues, learning how to resolve and get past and find workarounds for tech issues. So this is going to be a video covering some just examples. I think there's 12 of them. Simplifying expressions. I'm going to be doing these the long way. I'm going to show every step. There are other ways to do them. You can do multiple steps in one step, but I'm going to show one by one by one by one how to go through it. So that if you do it, it's a foolproof method. If you do it one step at a time, you should never get it wrong. All right. So let's start this off. By the way, I pre-apologize. I'm working on getting better tech. I have an external Logitech web camera on its way, but you might hear a little hum or a hiss, and that is from the laptop's internal fan kicking on because it's old and it's hunk junk, and hopefully we get new ones at some point. All right, so I pre-apologize that first. So let's get in, so this video is not longer than a half an hour. Simplifying expressions, important expressions. That means that there is no equal sign, all right? It's not an equation, it's an expression. And when you have an expression, you simplify it, all right? Talked about that in one of my other videos. That was the lesson video. This video is gonna be some examples, so let's hop through. First thing you look for, right? You got PEMDAS. Actually, that's not the first thing you look for. The first thing you're gonna look for is if you can just quickly need to simplify. Maybe you got a fraction, but I don't see any fractions that I need to simplify. So I'm then gonna go into PEMDAS. First one's parentheses. I don't see any parentheses. Next one's exponents. I don't see any exponents. Now, really important, these go from left to right, and these go from left to right. What I mean by that is you can sometimes do division first. So you can do division before multiplication. You can do subtraction before addition. It's just whichever one of those two come before, right? Come left to right. So one step at a time, let's do multiplication because that's on the left side, right? Left to right. So we're going to do that first. So 4 times 3 is 12. And then you got minus 10 divided by 2. Anything you don't do math with, you just drop down, drop down, drop down, drop down, drop it all down. All right, so I did multiplication. Now I have division, which is over here. So 12 minus 10 divided by 2 is 5. All right, did division. There is no addition at all. So now I can do subtraction. 12 minus 5 is 7. All right. I strongly suggest writing this down if you don't have PEMDAS mastered, right? I would write this down next to every problem and cross stuff off one by one as you go through it. All right, number 2. No fractions. I don't have any fractions, right? I don't got like 10 over 2 or 20 over 4. I don't have any fractions to simplify. So I next look at PEMDAS. Parentheses. Well, I see something I need to do in parentheses. Right there. Right? What parentheses means is try and simplify inside of the parentheses first. Try and simplify what's inside first. Right? Parentheses inside the parentheses. So I'm going to drop negative. 4 plus 3 is 7. And then drop the minus 12. So I simplified inside the parentheses first. There's no exponents. remember, these are blocked off. These are interchangeable, right? Left to right, left to right. But there is no multiplication. I lied about that. There is multiplication, and it's right here. All right, there is multiplication, it's right there. This is a negative times 7. Whenever you have something next to parentheses, it's multiplication, even if it's just a negative. It could be a smiley face times 7. If you have anything next to parentheses, it's multiplication. There's also this little invisible one right here. It's actually going to be a -1. So an example off to the side of that would be if I have x. You guys know that that's 1x. You know it's not 3x. You know it's not 1000x. You know it's not -50x. You know it's not 0.023x. That's 1x. We just don't write the invisible one in front of it. Right? It's the same thing with this negative sitting out front, is there's technically an invisible 1 sitting right there. We just don't write it. So you multiply that through using distribution. All right, multiply through the parenthesis, and we will get -7 minus 12. Okay, now there's no division, there's no addition. So now we're going to look at subtraction. -7 -7 minus 12 is -19. All right, and so I finished off with subtraction. All right, next one. That off to the side. Okay. So this is the one. This is finally an example where you look at it before you look at PEMDAS and see if there's just something you can simplify. And I can just simplify this. So I just want to simplify that. So that will become 10 divided by 2 is 5 minus 3 times 2. All right. Now I look at PEMDAS. No parentheses, no exponent. All right, remember these are blocked off, left to right, left to right. All right, we have multiplication right there. So let's do 5. -3 times 2 is -6. All right, did multiplication. Didn't do division because there isn't any division. There's no addition. Now we have subtraction. 5 minus 6 is -1. All right, 5 minus 6 is -1. Next one. Okay, without looking at PEMDAS, I'm first going to look at that. Can I simplify anything? And the answer is yes. I can simplify this. All right. So I'm going to rewrite this as 4 divided by 2 plus 2 minus 1. 16 divided by 8 is 2. All right. Now I look at PEMDAS. I see that I do have parentheses. All right. So can I simplify inside those parentheses? Yes, I can. I know what 2 plus 2 is. All right. So we're going to do inside the parentheses next. So we have 4 divided by 4 minus 1. There's no exponents. Next we have left to right, left to right. Okay, so there's no multiplication. We have division. So we're going to divide 4 divided by 4. 4 divided by 4. That is 4 divided by 4 is 1. And then we drop the minus 1. All right. No, did division. There's no addition, so we're at subtraction. 1 minus 1 is 0. all right? Did subtraction. Okay, now we're on to some expressions with variables. Expressions with variables. So I don't see any fractions, so I don't need to simplify that. So now I look at PEMDAS. I don't see any parentheses. I don't see any exponents. I don't see any multiplication. All right, and I talked about this in another video. This is really important, actually. I want to touch on this. I talked about this in another video, in the lesson video for expressions about terms, all right, and how addition and subtraction separate terms. So if we look at this, I have one term here, one term here, and one term here. So when I talk about combining like terms, so when I talk about combining like terms, I'm talking about, are any of these, ooh, I didn't have that written up there. Okay, there we go. Now you can see it. Sorry, my bad. Now when I ask you, can you combine any of these terms because they're like, well, I see that this first term and this last term both have an x, and that one doesn't. So these two terms are like. I totally get that this is 4 times x. I get that. That's 4 times x. This is negative 2 times x. However, these terms, this term and this term, are not separated by multiplication. That's as simplified as that gets. That's as simplified as that term gets. That's as simplified as that term gets. So that's not actually multiplication and division. And you'll see that in the next example, which might make it a little bit more clear. But there's no multiplication and there's no division. Okay, so we're going to do these from left to right. Really important, left to right. All right, so let's do, well, actually, can I combine 4x? Can I add 3 to 4x? I hope you are in your head saying, no, Mr. Walters, you cannot do that. What I'm going to combine are these two. So actually, I'm not going to do addition. What I'm going to do is subtraction, because this is a negative 2x. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 4x minus 2x, which is 2x. I didn't touch the plus 3, so I just dropped the plus 3 down. All right? I didn't touch the plus 3, so I dropped it down, and I combined these two like terms. I took the positive 4x and the minus 2x. All right, I combined those, and it gave me 2x. Okay? All right, go a little bit quicker through number 6, and here you're going to see where multiplication comes into play when you have a variable. All right, so don't have any fractions, so I don't have to deal with that. So I look at PEMDAS. So the first thing, parentheses. This problem has parentheses. It does. However, can I simplify what's on the inside of those parentheses? Can I combine the x and the 2? Or are these two separate unlike terms? They're not like terms, so you cannot combine them. So actually, I can't do what's inside the parentheses, because that is already as simplified as it gets. I can't do it. All right. There's no exponents. Now there is multiplication, right? Whenever there's something next to parentheses, you have multiplication, all right? And you guys should remember distribution. Distribution, all right? You need to, wow, kind of crossed into the distribution there, but oh well. You need to distribute through to every term inside of the parentheses. And I like to do the rainbow. I like to do rainbow. All right, so that's going to go there. And it's going to go there. So let's do the multiplication. I didn't touch the -2. I didn't touch the -4. Now I am using this positive 3x, this positive 3x. So what's positive 3 times x? Positive 3 times x. Positive 3x. What's positive 3 times positive 2? Positive 3 times positive 2 is positive 6. Okay. Now I have done multiplication. Now I have done division. Ooh, this is something important I didn't talk about either. This step right here, this final, when you do addition and subtraction, these are when you combine like terms. All right, so you don't actually combine like terms until you start doing the addition and subtraction. All right, so I have a -2 here. I have a -4 here. I have a positive 3x here. And I have a positive 6 here. All right, I have 4 terms which are all separated by subtraction, addition, and addition. Now you have to look at which of them are like terms. So if I look at them and I think about which ones are like terms, I'm going to say this one, and this one. Because these terms don't have an x. That one's lonely. It's the only term that has an x. All right. So when I combine like terms, which are going to be those 3, I am actually going to do it one step at a time. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do -2 minus 4. -2 minus 4, which should come out as -6. And then you got the plus 3x, and then your plus 6. All right, now I'm going to combine. All right, I did these 2 first. Now I'm going to combine this guy and that guy. All right. This is a -6, and this is a positive 6. -6, positive 6. If I have -6 plus 6, those cancel out, right? 6 minus 6 is 0. So all I get is 3x, because that and that canceled each other out. 6 minus 6 is 0. -6 plus 6 is 0. All right. Important to note, if you wanted to and you're using a calculator, or if you just doing it in your head or on a piece of paper, you could have combined all 3 in one step. I get that. You guys can combine all 3 in one step. Like I said, the foolproof method is doing 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 step, 1 step at a time. Foolproof method. All right. So now I have done addition and subtraction. Okay. Now we spent a little bit more time on that one. Okay, so I don't see any fractions to simplify. So I'm gonna first look at parentheses. Can I combine those? Are those like terms, right? I have two terms in here. I have a 2x and I have a -3. Are those like terms? Nope. That's a hard no. Those are not like terms, okay? So can't do parentheses. There's no exponents. There is multiplication. We have another pesky little invisible 1. Right? So there's multiplication right here. So I need to distribute, right? Distribute. So if I do that, I'm going to just drop my 4. What is -1 times 2x? -1 times 2x. -2x. What is -1 times -3? -1 times -3 is +3. All right, so I did the multiplication, which was distribution. There's no division. All right, now we're to this step, right? This step is going to be combine like terms, right? Combine. So I gotta look at these. I have a +4, I've got a -2x, and I have a +3. So I see two terms that are like terms. I see two terms that are like terms, and that is going to be this term and this term. So I'm going to combine those. So that will give me 4, +4 plus 3 is +7. Then you just drop the -2x, the -2x that we didn't use. Really important here, all right? This is why some students get answers wrong. If a teacher asks you to put, to simplify an expression into its simplest form, that means to put it into its standard form. So we're going to call it standard. Standard form. And that means variables before no variables. All right. So that means I need to rewrite this as -2x plus 7. All right. Variables before no variables. Standard form. All right. So I combined. All right, next one. Again, you have to look inside the parentheses. I have an x and I have a +3. Can I simplify that? No, no, you cannot. You cannot combine those, all right? So you can't do parentheses. There's no exponents. There is multiplication, so let's do that. Distribute. Distribute. All right. So we're going to get 2 times x, 2x, 2 times +3, +6, and then we have this +3 here. All right, so we did multiplication. There's no division. Now we're down here to let's start combining stuff because we're on these last two. So, right, we're going to combine. All right, and you have to look at your terms. I got this term, and this term. All right, which ones are like terms? Well, this one and this one are like terms. So I'm going to combine them. So I get 2x plus 9. Now this is already in standard form. X's before no X's, so this is your answer. All right. Getting there. This video is getting a little long. go down here. Okay, yep, fun stuff. Parentheses. Can I combine that? Nope. Can I combine that? Nope. So can't do parentheses, no exponents. Now I'm on to multiplication. I have this invisible -1 that I need to distribute. I have this really important. It's a common mistake. Common mistake is to multiply just by the 2. This is a -2, which you are going to have to distribute. Really common mistake. That one's super common. All right, gotta multiply by -2, not just 2. Okay. So -1 times x, -x. -1 times 1, -1. -2 times +3x is -6x. -2 times +1 is -2. Okay, all right, let me grab the red pen. Did the multiplication, there is no division. We are now on the last part, which is to combine. Combine, all right, so I have this term, this term, this term, and this term. All right, I'm doing one step at a time. I'm gonna do one step at a time. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna combine the x's. So the first thing I'm gonna combine are these, okay? So -x minus 6x is more negative. So -x minus 6x will give you -7x. All right, and I did not touch, see how I don't have the red line there? I didn't touch the -1. I didn't touch the -2. Okay. All I did was I combined the x's. Now, I have these 3 terms. And which ones am I going to combine now? Well, it's going to be this one and this one. All right. So I'm not going to touch the -7x. -1 minus 2 is -3. Now I want to make a side note real quick, and I'll make it over here, is another way that you can solve this, if you want to, is you can rearrange it. You don't have to. The way I just showed works totally fine. But if this helps you, you can rearrange it to where you have -x minus 6x minus 1 minus 2. You see how I moved the -6x next to the -x? I just moved it over. You're allowed to do that. All right, I didn't change it. It's still a -x. This is still a -1. This is still a -x. This is still a -2. I didn't change any of the numbers. I just rearranged it, okay? You are allowed to do that, okay? So I moved that over, and then you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to, but it's a little easier to see that if I just combine these 2 now and I just combine these 2 now, those are the ones that go with each other. You're allowed to do that. You don't have to, okay? This way that I did over here works totally fine, all right? Okay, now we have more than one variable. Now we have 2 variables. We got a w and a y. First thing I notice, there's no parentheses, there's no exponents, there's no multiplication. All right, if there's no parentheses, I don't want to say if there's no parentheses, there's no multiplication. But when you're doing PEMDAS and you're simplifying things with variables, like I said earlier, this 10 times w, yes, it's multiplication, but it doesn't matter. It's already simplified. It doesn't matter when you're doing PEMDAS. So there's no multiplication to do. There's no division to do. So we're already to the very last step. which is just to combine. All right. And I see I have this term, this term, this term, and this term. Because remember, right, addition and subtraction separates. All right, that's important. So this positive separates these two, this minus separates these two, this minus separates these two. So we have 4 terms. I only see two, which are like terms, and that would be this guy and this guy. Right, we got 10W and negative 5W. So what is 10W minus 5W? Well, 10 minus 5 is 5. So 10W minus 5W is 5W. Didn't touch the positive 3. Didn't touch the negative 2y. How many of you think we are done? Can I combine any more like terms? That's not like, all right, there's nothing else with a W, there's nothing else without a variable, and there's nothing else with y. So I can't combine any more like terms. However, do all the variables come before no variables? Like, is it written in standard form? It's not, right? It's not. So what I want to do is I want to move this in front. All right, I want to move it in front. So I would rewrite this as 5W minus 2y plus 3. Standard form. All right, variables before no variables. We got a variable, we got a variable, we got no variable, in that order. All right, last one. I shouldn't say last one, last page. So last 2 problems. This video is probably getting past 20 minutes. Hopefully it's still working. This is what happened yesterday. One of my videos froze about 12 minutes in, and then I kept talking for 20 minutes, and I didn't know that it had froze. Made me frustrated. Okay. Number 11. Can I simplify what's inside the parentheses? Can I combine those 2 terms? Are those like terms? Can I combine those? I don't think so. I don't think so. So I can't do that. There are no exponents. There is multiplication, however, and again, really important that you're multiplying by negative 2, not just 2. All right, so we're going to do multiplication first. So negative 2 times 3x is negative 5x. Negative 2 times 5y is negative, why did I do, that's supposed to be a 6. That's supposed to be a 6. Negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. Okay, negative 2 times 5y is negative 10y. Didn't touch this guy out here, so we're going to drop it. Plus 2x. Okay, wow. All right, cross that out. There is no division. So now we're down here to where we're going to start combining. All right, I got this term, and this term. So which ones are like terms? Well, I have negative 6x and 2x. So I'm going to combine those. What is negative 6x plus 2x? That would be negative 4x. And then I did not touch the minus 10y. All right. Last one. Last one. I threw this one in here as an example of something which I'm about to show you. So, parentheses. Can I combine negative x and 5? No, I cannot. All right, so I can't do that. No exponents. All right, we have multiplication, so let's distribute. All right, distribute So 2 times negative x is negative 2x. 2 times 5 is 10. All right, so I did multiplication. There is no division. There is addition, however. So we're to that last part of combining. And the reason I put this example in here is, can you combine those? Is there anything to combine? Can you combine that and that? No, you can't. So this is actually just the answer. All right, sometimes you're gonna get some of those easy ones where you just have to do one thing and you're done. All right, nothing to combine. Did not have to do that. All right. So I hope this video helps. Hope this video helps my students who watch this. I hope this video helps anybody else who watches this understand. Hope this helps any parents out there who are trying to help their kid understand this or help them with their homework. Thank you for watching. All right. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it if you can give the video a like if it is helpful. That way I know if I keep making videos like this or if I need to think about different types of videos to make. All right. Thank you for watching.